Scott for elitefts.com. We're doing another installment of Video Inquisitions, and we're shooting questions to Josh Bryant. Josh, my first question to you has to do with GPP and finishing exercises. In particular, let's start out with the farmer's walk. With many people doing the farmer's walk, their grip gives out first. What is the best way? Do you recommend people, if someone wants to get good at the farmer's walk, should they do specific work to increase the grip, or just do more farmer's walking?
The best way to get better at the farmer's walk is to perform the farmer's walk. And the farmer's walk can serve as a great GPP exercise, aiding your deadlift and your grip and things like that. You're not going to get so big of a carryover that, pretty much anybody that can, handle, say, 400 pounds in each hand for a distance in the farmer's walk is going to be able to hold on to a pretty heavy deadlift. But, just because you can deadlift 800 pounds doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be good at the farmer's walk. So if your grip's giving out first in the farmer's walk, that's an interesting problem to have, because at some point you're going to want to work with lighter weights. And you're going to want to work on your speed still. You're going to want to, at some point, do heavy weights, because even though, when your grip does get strong enough, when you get strong enough to have a grip problem, you're going to want to have handled that heavy weight. So say you're training for a contest 12 weeks away, and it's 350-pound farmer's walks in each hand. If you can only grip, 300 pounds in each hand, but you can move with it pretty fast, by the time your grips get strong enough, you don't want it to feel, super heavy when you're running with it and having to dynamically stabilize it. So you're going to want to do some work with straps too. So the way you're going to get better at farmer's walk is generally going to be farmer's walking. So it's not so much like a certain deadlift exercise to get better at the farmer's walk as much as like varying, they call it the bracketing technique in shot put, where you use like a smaller shot put, a heavier shot put. Same thing applies with farmer's walk. So you're going to want to do some work, where you're going to work on your grip, where you go a further distance, more time under tension. Sort of like if you're trying to improve your grinding strength in the bench press, you might do more reps, same type of philosophy there. So you're going to want to get some greater distance work in. You're also going to want to get some speed work in, where the only focus is not real heavy weight, going as fast as possible for a real short distance. And of course, you're going to want to get some overload work. And if the grip's not a problem, obviously you're not going to do the overload work without straps. But if it is a problem, you still need to do some. So it's not like a thing where never use straps. It's a devil. If that's the case, you're still going to want to get some overload work, and you are going to have to throw on straps. Of course, you have to bring up your grip, but you will want to get some overload work with straps.
And on that same subject with GPP, do you have your people do the Prowler or Sled work at all? And if so, how do you implement that?
When it comes to Prowler or Sled work, I do have clients that I have use both of those tools, and it can be done, can either be done as conditioning, as sort of a recuperative type thing, or even as a building type thing. For instance, one of the, my favorite ones with Sled now is violent hip extensions with a sled, so like a pull through with real heavy weight. And that's, a good builder. That's, helped Brandon Cass a ton, get to that next level in the deadlift. So, all these tools aren't just for restorative purposes. They can actually be done for building purposes. So, for instance, I might, for like a finisher at the end of like a bench press workout, sometimes we might do, sled flies, or even do, but it can also be done as a restorative thing. If you've, say, deadlifted, a real hard deadlift workout, we might do, sled pulls with fairly light weight and just take real long strides and really flush out the hamstrings and glutes. So there's a lot of different ways I would employ it with people. So it can be done either, as a builder, it can be done as a restorative, it can be done anywhere in between.
And Josh, do you think that there's significant benefit to having your powerlifting clients do high rep work, like some tricep push down, some reverse hybrids? When I say high rep, we're talking like 20 or more reps, shrugs, whatever high rep stuff you recommend. Do you have them do that as part of their program if it's a pure power lifter? And if so, how do you fit that in?
There's definitely a time and a place for everything. So I definitely, at some point, will have a lot of my powerlifting clients do some higher reps. You got to look at it like this. Well, our limit strength, how much muscular force you can produce in one all-out effort, regardless of time, aka how much weight you can lift. It's going to be your base for all athletic activities. But just only working strength, only working power, hypertrophy fits in there too. So at some point you're going to want to do somewhat of a hypertrophy phase, and it just gives your body a break from handling, the same heavy max effort weights week in, week out. And plus, if you train the same all the time, you're not going to continually make results because your body eventually is going to accommodate. So definitely, in the off season for bench press, for some people it might only be up to 10 reps, but especially on stuff like we're talking about tricep push downs and stuff, definitely, sometimes we have sets of 50 to 100 reps just to get some blood flow to the tendon. So there's definitely that aspect, and it's going to be generally it's going to be in the off season for the higher reps and the core movements and the bodybuilding, type movements. But with, say, so-called power building, generally if you're a bodybuilder, it's going to be mostly bodybuilding with the powerlifts to the core, but they're definitely, for the powerlifting, you're going to have to do some bodybuilding movements with higher reps to work a lot of the weak points. If your triceps are really weak, you're going to have to hit them with some high rep direct tricep work at some point. So definitely have clients at some point in the year generally do some higher reps.